So I wanted to show you a few minutes of one of the websites that I found that is really interesting in terms of what it offers for data and student performance. And I want to show you what it looks like for teachers and students at the same time. So the website is free, so you can create an account, log in, and when you create a quiz, it's very similar to Kahoots if you've ever used Kahoots. But the one advantage I think that quizizz has over Kahoots is the ability to import a quiz using a spreadsheet. So it enables you to share quizzes very easily. So here's a Chapter 9 review that I created, and we're going to play it live. And it gives you these options. You can jumble the questions, jumble the answers, show all of the answers at the end. Has a leaderboard to encourage student competition. I usually leave off the question timer so I can tell they did get it right or wrong. And sometimes I leave on the funny pictures, sometimes not. And I almost always turn off the music. And then we just click proceed. Now I see the start game panel. I can see all of the students' names before they join. And usually what I do is I do Control Plus to increase the size of this so that they can only see join.quizizz.com and the code. And then I freeze the screen on the projector, and then I go back using Control 0 to reset the zoom to normal so that I can see everybody's names, but they can't, because sometimes the students like to do weird stuff, like some student entered the name Big Dick today. But other than that, so the students will choose this code and put in 214571. They'll click proceed, and then they'll enter their name and then click join game. And what I'll see here is the name. I can boot them if it's an inappropriate name, and they'll see the avatar. So there's like this funky looking ice cream cone. And once everybody's in, or once one person is in, even, you can start the game. And then on your screen, you'll see the countdown. And then you'll see everybody who has answered correctly, incorrectly. You'll have an option to end the game. And you'll see for every question how many students have answered it correctly, incorrectly, and how many questions have not been attempted. You can see this for all of the questions at a time. Mostly I focus on total correct and total wrong, so I get a sense of the whole class and how they're doing. Now on the student screen, they'll see the countdown, and then they'll be able to see the picture and the question and the options here. And immediately they'll get feedback if it's right or wrong. So for this one, we want to determine the R value. So we know it's going positive, and it looks like a pretty strong correlation. So this should be the correct answer. And when we click it, we get 1,000 points. It tells us the correct answer. We're rank 1. And on the teacher's screen, it shows us total correct is 1. Now, let's say we get a question wrong. Let's say we just pick something random, D. That one was incorrect. Now it shows us that we have one wrong answer. And down here on my name, it will show more or less, it's not an exact count because you'll have a lot of these and the numbers would get visually distracting, but it shows you a rough estimate of how many questions each person has answered correctly or incorrectly based on how much of this line is green, how much of it is red, and how far along they are. So as you progress through the quiz, as you get questions right or wrong, it will advance and you can see who has finished. This will also, at the end of the whole quiz, allow them to review all of the correct answers if you enabled that setting, and then they can go back and review it and take it again and see if they can increase their score or see if they can answer correctly the questions that they didn't understand the first time around.